on a speech targeted towards a non-technical audience. We have Scott Brown delivering PowerPoint, mastering the medium. PowerPoint, mastering the medium. Scott Brown.
All right, so to give you guys a bit of a preface, last Saturday I went to the Toastmasters Leadership Institute. I gave an hour-long workshop about how to use PowerPoint. This is an abridged version of that speech. So hopefully, what I'm going to imbue upon you is, one, the philosophy of how you should approach visual presentations and how PowerPoint has really engendered a really negative mindset of creating boring presentations that have permeated our culture and our business lives, and how you can avoid that. Two, how to create effective, beautiful slides. And that's it, 1 and 2. I didn't abide by the rule of 3, and so I'm a bad Toastmaster. All right, let's get started. PowerPoint, mastering the medium. Unfortunately, most PowerPoint slides look like this one. The slide contains far too much text. The speaker hopes he can diminish the effect of overwriting by breaking the text up into bullet points, but this does not help. Reading the text aloud, slide word for word, doesn't help either. Today we are going to master the medium of visual presentation. We're going to take this boring, procedural, lifeless presentation and make it into something beautiful. Let's get started. Who's seen a PowerPoint presentation like this? Raise your hand. Who's created a PowerPoint presentation like this? Be honest, I've done it too. It's a problem. It's a serious problem. And if you think that this is maybe an exaggeration of the real world, well, I'm about to show you some very disturbing slides. If you have an upset stomach, please turn away. These are real slides that I've seen in my business life. Ooh, that's a lot of text. I don't think I can read that while somebody's talking to me and my attention is split between reading and listening. Pictures are good, right? Pictures, what does this say? Substations and electrical equipment locations. Can anybody tell me where the electrical equipment is? I'm an electrical engineer, I can't tell you. What about this one? 400 data points. Can somebody tell me what the story of this data is? Anybody? Anybody? No? And this is what happens. This is what happens in our business presentations. And it's easy to understand why this happens. Because people open up PowerPoint and they see this default template. And PowerPoint tells you, you just need to fill out all of these little forms and then you'll have a presentation. And it seems very easy to do that. And the other thing is that it allows people to remove the attention from themselves. It's a lot easier for me to sit here, like I'm with you guys in this business meeting, and we're all just going to look at the screen together. And I'm not going to have to lead the meeting or present or anything. Instead, we're just going to passively absorb this information together, like it came from the sky. And this mindset is a complete abdication of responsibility. It underlines a fundamental lack of confidence. A lack of confidence in yourself as a leader, as a presenter. I can't stand up here and take all of the attention. I don't want the attention on me. It's a lack of confidence. It's also a lack of confidence in the material. Like, I don't want to be responsible as the creator of this material. I'm just going to pretend that I didn't make it, that it just, came from somewhere else and we're going to absorb it together. So I want to encourage you, first of all, to utterly abandon that mindset. You are the speaker, you're the presenter, you're running the meeting, you want all of the attention. You've created all of this content. The value comes from you. You are the most important thing up here. And I'm you're the most interesting thing up here as the speaker. People like interacting with humans. Look, I'm a human, I'm flesh and blood. I can make eye contact with people. We can create a human connection. That's interesting. It's a lot more interesting than whatever's going to be on this page. So by creating a slide in the first place, you're distracting the audience from yourself. And it's a huge sacrifice to do that. All right? So don't use PowerPoint. All right, class dismissed. No, all right. You have to use PowerPoint sometimes. But the point that I'm trying to make is you should use your slide sparingly. If your slide is useful for 10 seconds, by the 11th second, it should be gone. If you don't know how to do that, you can hit the B button on your keyboard, and that will black the slide, which is what I just done. See? B. Oops. That's not B. 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 Ooh. You can also hit the W button, and it'll wipe the slide. Interesting. So next we're going to talk about noise. Can anybody tell me what noise is?
Extraneous information.
What was that?
It's extraneous information.
Extraneous information. I like that. I like to think of noise as data without information, without meaningful information. All of these, and it's hard to see because these are washed out. Let's see. Do we have light control in here, Wei?
Yeah, it's
You can see on the other one better.
You can see on the other one better. But I do, later in this presentation, want to make a point about lighting, so this is good. Yeah, noise. So one of the things that you want to do in all of your visual slides is to boost the signal, which is the meaningful information, and you can do that by enlarging it or making it higher contrast. And the other thing you want to do is reduce the amount of noise on your slide, which is meaningless information. So there, we've gotten rid of all the noise. Is there any more noise on this slide? Visual noise.
The top stuff and the bottom stuff.
The top stuff, yeah, that's not useful. The bottom stuff has information on it, right? But it's not useful because you already know what the title of my speech is. You know where you are and you know what the date is. And even though that's all wrong, it's from last Saturday, you probably didn't even notice. So it's useful, it's just distracting. What else is visual noise on this slide? Anything?
The white.
The white, yeah, that's really distracting. We can talk about color later, but basically, if you're in a dark room, you want to use a dark background. If you're in a light room, you want to use a light background so that the colors don't get washed out. But the slide itself is kind of distracting because a lot of times you're using slides when you don't need to use slides. So if the slide's not useful, take it off the screen. All right, so next we're going to talk about good slide design practices. And basically I want to narrow this down into three things, which are enlarging images, eliminating text, and simplifying data. We'll break them down one by one. In terms of enlarging images, most images in PowerPoint kind of look like this. They're just splatted onto the page in the default PowerPoint template where the box is, and they're alongside a novel's worth of text that you couldn't possibly process or read. Can anybody, like, after 10 seconds, tell me what the story of this slide is? Give you guys a couple seconds. No.
easements.
Easements. Something about easements. All right, what if I did it like this? What if I made the picture really big and said, there's the public utility easement, there's the water easement, and we've got to get a pipe from one building to another building, and so we need to cross those easements. That means there's going to be a permit delay. Simple? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to move a little bit faster because I'm running out of time. I forgot that I don't have an hour. Let's talk about images. This is how most images are presented. Again, what you want to do is limit it to one image per slide, get rid of any funky backgrounds and stuff, and what you also want to do is just make it big. You can make an image really big, make it bleed off the side of the pages, and eliminate the background. This makes it more interesting. It changes the positive and negative space on the slide and kind of draws your eye to the slide. If you just plop an image in the middle of the slide in a box, it doesn't fundamentally change the positive and negative space on the slide. It looks boring and static. You can also blow up an image and use it as a slide background, and then overlay your text on top of it. There's an interesting example. Here's another example. If I were to present this information as like a normal PowerPoint slide, this is how it might look. It looks a lot more impactful if you blow the image up and just stick to one word. You can still keep all of that information that was on the slide originally, but use your voice to explain it to your audience, not the text. 800,000 children under the age of 5 this year are going to die from lack of clean water. That's the same as the population of San Francisco. Another good way to convey information there. Data. Okay, so this is how most data looks. Basically what people do is they just snip it from Excel and plop it on there with no formatting. What you want to do is eliminate the source data. Just keep your charts and graphs. If your audience needs source data, give it to them in a handout. Consolidate your data and organize it in a way that makes sense. So biggest to smallest, highlight the important data, and then throw the labels on top of the data itself. Makes it a lot easier to read than having a legend. Yeah, this looks a lot better than that. And anything else I wanted to talk about? Simplifying data, enlarging images, and eliminating text. What I want you guys to do, the next time you make a PowerPoint presentation, you're going to see this thing, just get rid of it, all right? Create a layout that has a black background or a white background, and delete those text boxes that it gives you. That'll help you to understand what you're supposed to do and remind you not to make any of these mistakes. Thank you.